Welcome to the Blue Mouse Knits. Today I'm going to show you how to knit a folded cuff. The first thing you want to do is work a standard knit bind off. You don't have to do this, but I find it's the easiest way. You want it to be stretchy enough that it goes around your hand and your wrist. I want to find my first stitch in the round. My bind off starts right here and ends right here. So I know I started with a knit stitch and I ended with a purl stitch. So this right here is my final purl stitch, and this right here was my first knit stitch. I go down to my first row and place a removable stitch marker around the first row in the first stitch of your cuff. Turn your sleeve inside out a few inches past where your cuff is. You want to thread your tail through a yarn needle. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to use a contrasting color, but you should use the tail attached to your bind off. You want to fold just the cuff over in half. I know that this is my first knit stitch because I can tell where my bind off started. It starts to curve here. And because we placed our marker here, we know that this column of purl stitches is the same row. If you look at all these ridges, it goes up and then down and then up and then down. We're going to go in the U part. And we're going to go from top down. For reference, this column right here is our second stitch. This bump here, because it's the U shape, I'm going to move one more over into our purl column because this is our first stitch. And just above our marker, you can remove your marker if you need to, but this is the U shape part of this stitch. And go pull through. And then we want to look at our bind off stitch. So find your first one, which might be slightly shifted over. It's this kind of curved one here. Go underneath the topmost strand. So if you've got a sideways V that makes up your knit stitch, you only have to go in the right hand leg, and we go in from top to bottom, and those two are now joined. So then you go over one stitch, and again we're looking for the U, the underside loop, which is this one right here in the same column. We go from top to bottom, and you can then go into the top half of that bind off stitch below it and pull through, and just keep moving over. So the next U is this one right here, part of a purl column, followed by the corresponding half of that bind off stitch. So the next U over here is this one, and we go down to the next corresponding bind off stitch, pull through. So this is my next under. Go into that bind off stitch, which is much easier, and just keep going around. And then I have just really one more. So it's this loop here. Go underneath it, and then it's kind of hard to see, but there is a final bind off stitch there. And I can close up any gap here by pulling on my tail. Yours will be the same color as your project. But there you have it. That is how you work a double thick hem. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. It really helps the channel out. And if you'd like to find some knitting patterns, you can find mine on Etsy and Ravelry.